Hello all, Fernan here for the Syd Lexia Mega Man 2, whatever we're calling this, where various people go through and show off how they usually go through the game. And I don't really have a normal way, I just sort of go any which way that I please, so I suppose I'll be improvising. But I do always start with Metal Man, since he obviously has the best weapon in the game. Throughout this stage, you will be finding these conveyor belts, so take care not to fall off the edges. And be sure to grab this first E-Tank, since the game basically says, here, have a present. Be careful not to do exactly what I just did. Go in there a little bit sooner so as not to get squished by the press. Some people will say that you can jump safely over them, and that the chain won't damage you. I don't like to take chances. I prefer to just go under them. If you can manage to jump over them, awesome. You're a better Mega Man player than I. Yay, health. These moles are a fantastic spot to farm, especially later on in the game when they become quite necessary. But for now, just get through them as best as you can. Go kind of slowly so as not to do that. I swear I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm not proving my points by playing poorly, I just sort of suck like that. Anyways, continue on, being careful with your jumps. If you choose to do Metal Man at a later time, a time when you have item 1 or 2, you will be able to get up to that one up, but oh well. Now we have the midpoint room, so if you die, you'll come back to there. Or possibly here, I forget which exactly. Hopefully we will not find out in this little run. Now these little Pierrot bots take a few hits for the gear and one hit for the clown. So try to jump up and hit the gear before it comes down, otherwise you'll very likely be run over. Now the blocky creature there on the difficult mode will sort of fall apart when you hit it the first time, but on normal, as you can see, it only takes one hit. The E-Tank down there is a trap. Only go after it if you have item 1 or 2, as aforementioned. If you don't, you will not be able to make that jump. And the spring heads are sort of easy to trick into being able to jump over them easily, but once again, I kind of suck. Yeah, Metal Man himself is pretty easy, particularly on normal, until you jump into his blades, because you don't know what you're doing, but yeah, the conveyor will switch directions from time to time, and the screen will flash, indicating so. And I jump in again. Anyways, just keep shooting at him, trying not to kill yourself, and you should be alright. Like so. And if you do not mind, I will be speeding through the get equipped nonsense because everyone has seen it a million times already. Let's go with Bobo Man next. Now you can use your arm cannon, or you can use the metal blades on all the enemies in the stage. It doesn't make too much difference. Just be sure not to waste too much of the metal blade. Now the croakers and the mini croakers can be somewhat of a nuisance, but as long as you don't stand directly under them, you should be fine. Now these little red bricks, just be very light on your feet and do not stand on them too long. Now, on normal, these Crabots are very easy, only one shot to kill them. but on difficult, they are much, much tougher. And yeah, we have a Crabbot directly beneath us. You'd think I would remember that after all these years of playing this game. Anyways, we have underwater physics. Yay. Mega Man can jump at least 2 or 3 times farther than he normally can. And of course, the ever-popular instant death spikes are everywhere down here. These little squirts will infinitely spawn out of the lanternfish, so if you have already used up a lot of Metal Blade ammo, you can easily refill here. And again in a few seconds. But not until we get a little bit of careful jumping with the M445s above head. Just go slowly. Yeah, go slowly and be very careful not to overshoot your jumps, or you will be doing a part of the stage over again. Now, one little neat fact is that these M445s are apparently a smaller and spikier version of the bubble machine from Wily's Fortress in the first Mega Man game. And if you had told me that years ago, I would not have known that. I only found that out recently when I was reading through the wiki. We have more underwater croakers, which are still just as easy to take out, and also slightly easier to dodge the mini croakers since they're sort of slowed down by the water. And above water again we have the snappers, little crab bots which try to anticipate where you will be in a few seconds and fall ahead of you, so as best to knock you down into the infinite death pits down there. Just take it slowly and kill any snappers that are ahead of you, and you'll get to the boss quickly. Now, Bubble Man is ridiculously easily on normal mode. He hardly puts up a fight at all when you have the Metal Blade. Yeah. On difficult, he really isn't that much harder either, but that's Bubble Man for you. And speed button ho. Let's go with Flash Man next. The Time Stopper is useful in a few spots. And we now get ice physics. Whee! You know, the crazy cannons shoot at 2 different angles, so try and work that to your advantage to avoid them as best as you can. You can guarantee that later on I will be running into them once they're set up at a point where you really, if you just walk forward blindly, you will walk into their shots. Usually I don't get as... yeah, never mind. In the past already. There's free health down here anyway. Now these squirms are yet another form of infinitely spawning enemy, which you can farm if you so desire. And you can just take them out and move on. Hold left right here, and you'll get to that little spot where you won't have to deal with the sniper armor. And you'll also be in prime position for picking up the E-tank up here. So be very careful with your jumps. Whee, ice physics. Now this sniper armor here, you want to try and goad him to the left, so that you can get up here and just ignore him entirely. Now, Flash Man, like Bubble Man, dies ludicrously easily to the Metal Blade. So just... yeah, destroy him. Basically all you have to do. Speed. Oh, I'm so glad for the speed button during this nonsense. Takes forever otherwise. Let's try Woodman. Now the Bubble Bats can mostly be ignored, and the Robo-Rabbits just take a few hits from the arm cannon. The Robo-Rabbits will eventually shoot out carrot missiles at you if you take too long. But just a few quick blasts and they'll be gone. This is one spot where I do wait to kill all the bubble... ah, crud. Let's try that again, shall we? Anyways, as I was saying, this is one of the few spots where I do try to kill the Bubble Bats rather than just forcing on head. Now for this little spot, you want to use your time stopper right here, so that in this next room, the hot dog doesn't even appear. And the same goes for this room. And by the time we get into the third room, it will run out, and we'll have one hot dog to deal with instead of 3. I think that works out pretty well. Hopefully you can time the jumps better than I can. Oh, that worked out like I actually planned it to happen that way. Let's go with that. Now up here you'll find the Mecha Monkeys. So, again, the Metal Blade is still your best friend, since it can actually shoot downwards at a diagonal angle to hit them before they have the chance to hop up and attack you. Definitely best not to let them hop up. There's definitely a good chance of getting knocked off the platform by them. Down here we have more Robo-Rabbits. And pretty much any fast weapon will take them out. Metal Blade again being most useful since it can attack at an angle. Here we have the up here we have the atomic chickens, which will dash at you and then leap. What you want to try to do is be underneath their jump. Not like that. Walk forward a bit, then back, then forward. And you'll be able to stay underneath them. Hopefully. Now technically Woodman's weaker to either the crash bombs or atomic heat than to the Metal Blade. But he still falls pretty easily, like pretty much any other boss in this entire game. Especially given so on normals, where no boss is difficult really. Speed.